So let's just get on in here. If you haven't seen my previous videos on that, I can link them in the description. And now it's a special announcement that today I'm going to be doing 3 pages just so that I'm, back on track with doing them looking side by side. So instead of having one that's done, one that's not, let's just jump right in. So this one for the story. The woman in red is not moving, so you decide to peek into the picnic basket. Using only red, yellow, and pink shades, color in the page. But watch out for the wasps. They might come to life the second you color them in. Dun dun dun. Okay, so I kind of want to do something maybe slightly interactive. I don't know, we'll see with the wasps. But otherwise, I've got my trusty boop boop boop. I'm gonna go with basic pencil crayons for this spread, just because I've experimented a lot with the other ones and I just want something simple for this. So let's get going. I wanted to keep this page fairly simple because I was using such limited colors as it was. So I just kind of made it more like a coloring book doodly style. Okay, so I am confused as to what these are. I think that they're blueberries. Am I not allowed green at all? The limited palette definitely had me stumped at some parts for sure. Oat milk. Who drinks oat milk? Ugh. It was mainly the berries and the little leaves as well that really had me stumped on how to make these colors work. So I definitely had to improvise on those things. Okay, there was nothing that said that I couldn't overlap some colors. So I'm gonna cheat and overlap some colors. Oh yeah, and obviously the orange juice. But, I worked around that because layering, the beauty of layering. But for some reason my layering also looked very splotchy, so don't know what happened there. Okay, I still can't decide what these berries should be. Okay, I think I've decided on making them those, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're like tomato kiwi berries or something like that. So I'm gonna make them orange and call it a day. If you haven't had these golden berries before, they are very interesting. They're like tomatoes, but kiwis, but berries. I don't know. I really don't know how to describe them. They are very interesting and they're kind of sweet, but kind of bitter. Anyways, moving on from the golden berries, I did a fun lemonade and then also a fun Shirley Temple style thing with, the orange juice and yada yada. So yeah, that was really fun. And then, just did the quick shadings of everything. Like I said, I wanted to keep it fairly just really relaxed and more childlike. I don't want to say coloring is childlike because that's not what I mean, but you know what I mean, right? Right? Yeah, you got it. You got it. I am very curious to know though, if anyone else has purchased this book from Chloe Rose, and if you have you done any pages in it? If you have, let me know in the comments below because I am really curious and I want to know what other people are thinking about the book. Because I'm having lots of fun with it so far, and I'm really refraining from looking ahead in the book because I really want to just have that surprise for the next page. So I took the liberty of cutting out some additional bees. I just photocopied them. Well, and actually since they're wasp, I kind of made them a little bit more wasp-like. And my intention is to make them kind of pop out of the page since they come alive. Nothing super fancy, but I also made these little waffle thingies in hopes that they will, pop up. So let's see if this works. And then I'm also just gonna color these guys in as if they were just like the shadow underneath. I feel like I was going back into the early school days where you would learn to do fun pop-ups in your books at school. Did anyone else learn that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to use some Mod Podge because that's the only glue type stuff that I have for now. Glue that guy on there. Oh, wait, I guess I need his direction, or do I?
To save the hassle of you having to watch the struggle of this, I just end up fast forwarding. You get the gist. All right, here we are, and now I'm just cutting them to size. I didn't want them all to pop up at the same height, so I kind of varied that as well and did some samples, testing. Worked.
Oh my gosh, it worked. Look at that. They just like pop up all cute. Some of them might be a little bit long, but oh, look at that. And they all pop up at different heights. Very fun. 3D. How cool is that? Woo. And now let's do a quick highlight. Oh, and look. Oh my gosh, I just need to stop putting all these in. Oh, it's chewing up the paper. You know what? I don't think this page needs highlights. Screw that. Nope, no highlights. Okay. Oh, I don't want to fight with that right now. Okay, so there is our next page. I think it turned out pretty cute and illustrative, and then with the pop-up feature, I think that was a lot of fun. Let's continue on. So the next part. The picnic basket suddenly begins to grow and makes space for more food inside. Ooh. You draw your favorite snacks because wasp-flavored jam isn't your chosen delicacy. Well, isn't that the truth? All right, to avoid the annoyance of the sketching process, so I decided to scrap that original idea, and I'm going to actually do it on a separate piece of paper and glue it into the book because I wanted to try markers as an underlayer, and we all know if you watched my first video attempt, it didn't go well. So we're going to try it this way instead.
So first up on the list, we have nothing more than a classic cinnamon bun. I don't know about y'all's, but man, cinnamon buns are so dang good. We have like a Cinzio in Canada. I don't know if they have those in the States or not. Anyways, or anywhere else for that matter. But they are so delicious and warmed up. There's nothing better. Moving on, we obviously have to have watermelon because watermelon is just so juicy and it has to be a crisp, cold watermelon slice. There's no better way. And I don't actually like the seeds in watermelons, but I'm going to include them anyways because for aesthetic reasons. Next, moving on, we have the cookies, of course, classic. Who doesn't like cookies? And then I had the annoying spillage of the Copic marker, which was super frustrating. Moving on to that, we also have a beautiful, delicious croissant sandwich. I mean, like, oh, they're just so good. They're just so good. Oh, this is extra special when you're pregnant because I just love food so much.
So there we have our basic fundamentals down. This looks a little and yeah, okay. Let's fix them up with pencil crayons, shall we? So just a funny story, because I'm looking at these cookies, I'm like, I need some cookies because, you know, pregnant me. Anyways, we had some family friends come visit us from Denmark, and we're like, oh, let's have some cookies and milk. And I was like, do you want them my way or do you want them like their own way? And they're like, well, what's your way? I'm like this. So I literally crumble up cookies. These are the dad's cookies, if anyone's wondering. I don't know if everywhere sells those or if that's a Canadian thing. Anyways, and I literally crumble them up, put them in a cup full of milk, let them soak. Then I got my spoon. And I gave it to them and they're like, what do we do with this? I'm like, you scoop it out. It's like so delicious. So if anyone wants to try, I highly recommend it.
I feel like overall I really surprised that family with various foods that we eat here that they're just like, what is this? Another example, Spitz sunflower seeds. they they had no idea that you had to like crack them open and eat them, so they're just like chewing on the whole seed. Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, those poor guys. Anyways, kill myself laughing every time about that. Anyways, I am moving on to obviously the pencil crayon because that just enhances my marker abilities. And the croissant is not as nice as I would have liked it to look, but it's okay. With that turkey or ham and cheese and tomatoes and lettuce, oh, it just looks so tasty. Overall, I am really pleased with each of these food items that I chose, and I feel like I could add a ton more because I just love food, but I feel like these are the classic necessities needed for a picnic. I am curious to know what food item you would bring on a picnic for yourself and your family, your friends, whatever. I don't typically go on picnics very often, but since we've had our children, we tend to go a little bit more here and there when it's nice weather. And I actually really enjoy it. The only thing I don't enjoy is packing up all the food, making sure you have enough supplies for those foods, like utensils and napkins. And when you have kids, like it's just even more messy. So the simpler foods, the better. Things that you don't have to clean up massively, those are the kind of things I like. And of course, it's not complete until you do some really nice highlights. If your pen is working.
Okay, so here are all my picnic items that I would bring. Obviously not to scale because this is huge. I would love those to scale. Anyways, yeah, so here we are. Here's my picnic delicacy items. I think I'm actually going to gonna do maybe like a picnic basket. No, sorry. I think I'm gonna do maybe like a picnic tablecloth, even though I don't really have any of those vibes, but I feel like this could be a cute border. Does it match? No, it doesn't match. Or this, you know what, I might do this pink flowered one.
Lately, I have a tendency to speak and not actually finish completing the sentences that I'm trying to complete. So I'm using washi tape to make it look like the outer edges of a picnic blanket. And then I just kind of colored it in with a nice soft pink and put some tassels on the end. And I think it looks super cute. And then I labeled each of them because why not?
This spot is looking a little bare, but I'm just gonna forget about it. Okay guys, there you go. There we have this page all complete. I'm debating about outlining everything in black, but we're just gonna ignore that thought for now. And then I just put a quick coat of Mod Podge to seal that bad boy in, and now let's move on. All right, covered in sand, jam, and snacks, you walk further down the beach and notice 3 beach huts, using only pastel colors. The
only acceptable colors for a beach hut.
You bring them to life. Okay, ooh, I'm thinking watercolor for this because I have pastel watercolors as you've seen in my last video. Let's go.
And if you haven't seen the last video, you should definitely go check it out. Okay, so I'm going to do some borders here with the watercolor because I didn't want it going all over the page. And also I wanted to tie it down a little bit for less warping to see if that would help. So I kind of like wrapped it around the edge, and well, it didn't stay very well because, well, you know, it's washi tape and it doesn't have that much of a stick to it. Anyways, so I decided to do some really sweet colors here, and with the pink, red, and yellow, and it was a lot of fun. I wanted to keep it very limited because, I don't know, I think if I add way too many colors, I start to get overwhelmed and then it starts to look really sloppy, so I'm really trying to do limited palettes. And what better way than using a mini palette instead of the giant one that I have? Now, the paper, as I explained before, it's very thirsty and it dries really, really quickly. And with this second attempt, I feel like I've maneuvered it a little bit better, and I was able to get some kind of fun textures that I wanted. Like the sand looks kind of grainy and sandy, which is what I wanted. And the sky, I obviously wanted some clouds in there, so I was able to get that dry brush effect a little bit more efficiently. But when you spread the colors, as you've seen before, I was trying to remove some of the yellow in the sky. Well, it actually shreds the paper, which I knew from previously, but I tried again and it didn't work, so I'm just going to leave it. There is a bit of yellow and it is what it is. It's fine. And then I kind of did different shadows and stuff, but using more of the same color, just with more pigment in it. And I think that that made it look also really cute. I don't know. I like minimal stuff where I don't have to think too much about details and shadows and all of that. And so I think what I did worked decently and I'm happy with the result. And then I just did some light highlighting effects to make it seem like the sand was a little wet, etc., etc. And then the most fun part is the peeling of the tape. I know lots of people say that, but it is so satisfying when it's peeled. Anyways, so here is the final result. I'm actually really happy with it. I think it looks very cute and it's very minimal, and I only used watercolor, which I'm super pleased with myself because I usually throw in pencil crayon. Anyways, guys, let's do a quick recap of what we did today. So we colored in with pencil crayon and did a fun pop-out effect with the wasps. I did have a lot of fun making something 3D because I don't typically do things like that. So maybe in the future I will. The next page is obviously items that you would bring on your own picnic. I loved the way that this turned out overall. And the last page is watercolor pastels for the beach huts. And yeah, I'm so pleased with it. I think the colors look great. I think the pages tie in together really nicely. So overall, I am satisfied. Anyways, guys, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you are new here. It helps so much. And I guess that's it. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.